Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. Sorry. Sorry. So I just want to say, like it doesn't matter where I see somebody or something for that matter. Like I care. Like it's just somebody talked about how, like people on the internet, like why I care about people on the internet. And it's like, I mean, I get it. They're not in your immediate life. So it's like, what's the point of like, spending a lot of energy and effort? Well, there is a point. That's the whole thing. Like, I like if we're all, especially if we're all on some type of, we're some type of family here, collective, what you do to help somebody else out, no matter if they're on the internet or somebody down the street or wherever it may be, or somebody in another country, continent, it's going to help you, and not only that, it's the right, loving, good, humane thing to do, in my opinion. I'm bringing this up because somebody talked about how, like, oh, why give a fuck about people on the internet? Why care about what they say to you? Why try to care about them? Why try to, put energy and effort and into a relationship or some type of connection with people on the internet on both romantic standpoint and also like from a professional or work type standpoint. And for me, like I don't even, it's something I naturally, like I don't have any, like that's just naturally me. Like whenever I see an issue wherever it may be, I care about it based on that degree of severity essentially, and also my ability to relate to it and connect to it. But it got me thinking, like, this is like, to me that's just very natural. But I can see how a lot of the world, this is probably why we have a lot of people online like talk shit and just people be mean and abuse people and troll people, is because they just, if that person was in your immediate vicinity, you probably would not be acting the same way. Most people, probably most trolls, most of these mean people, bullies online and shit like that, would probably not be acting the same. Some of them would, but most of them probably wouldn't be acting the same way if they were in the same room as me. But because we have this barrier of the internet, people can do what the fuck they want to do without having to deal with the immediate. I mean, they still have to deal with it. That's the thing. Like even if you see something that you don't agree upon or don't like if you choose to neglect that and you have an ability to help that out, even if it's just speaking on things, that comes back on you karmatically. So it's like, but the resistance doesn't want you guys to really appreciate these lessons, because if you did, you'd start looking at, the starving children, the dying planet, the animals that were continuing to extinct. I saw a statistic the other day that was horrible. It was something about like since 1980, we've killed off like 70% of the wildlife. 70% since 1980 we've destroyed from our consumerism. It's fucking absolutely, it's an absolute atrocity. And this is also why I get frustrated with Christians, because it's like they want to just sit back and wait for Jesus to come and solve all the problems. And it's like, you guys aren't even following his word. His word was all about solving things, helping people out. Those are the least among us. Animals are also the least among us, if you want to look at it that way. Even though they got a lot of shit on top of human beings, but they're least capable of taking care of themselves in this time that we're in than other human beings are. So it's like the fact I see so many, like, it just bothers me. Like, I just don't get you guys. And I think, again, this has been a trick of the system to go in and manipulate the Bible and to get people in places who speak about the Bible, present themselves as teachers of the Bible and representatives even of God, who speak these words to people who pay them money and go to this place, and they feel all good and dandy about things because it's like, okay, well, here we are, we're doing this, and the person that is put in this position to help shed light on the message of God, even though the message is right there in the Bible. Like, you don't need anybody else to tell you how to your walk with God. Like, nobody else can tell you that. That's something you got to figure out within your own self. That's something you got to look at your own fingerprints, your own DNA, your own love, your own passions, and try to incorporate that or integrate that into the Word. And then just, from there, things will come to you. Like, that's seek and thee shall find. Like, there is, like, the Word. I'm still very much all about the Word. I want that to be clear too, because I know I've gone against traditional Christianity, and I still am, and I think it's even more, it's detrimental to a level that I don't even think most people are even able to fathom right now, because they're still under the spell. But I'm going to work on breaking that down, because I do feel that most of the people involved in Christianity are of a good heart, have a good intent, and they've been lied to and misled on their own, indirectly and directly, because I think you can't help it. If you look at the Word tells you what to do, and if your church isn't doing things that are in alignment with the Word, you should probably leave that church. Like, that church is not good. And I think that this is what, if I was the enemy and I knew that something like Yahushua, the Son of God, whatever you want to call it, the dude presenting this word to help transmutate, bad into good, if I knew that that message came down here for humanity and it's been spread to all of humanity, I already know that's going to happen. Like, it's already being spread. Like, there's nothing I can do about the spread. It's already here. The seed's been planted. It's going to grow as it has. The next best thing you can do is taint that seed. In order to do so, you got to mimic that seed. You have to present yourself as a representative, as an associate of that seed, and use that trust that you gain from speaking on these words to manipulate it in your own nefarious way. And this is what I think a lot of churches do, whether they know it or not, whether the pastors know it or not. If they're not doing things to help out the rest of the world, it's that simple. Then you're not following the word, in my opinion. So, anyways, I kind of got off tangent here, but. Oh yeah, it was about the internet thing. So this is like again, like if you're gonna imply the word, like if you're really about the word, it doesn't matter where you see things, whether it's in your daily life in the physical or whether it's online, you see something that needs help, it's your good duty to help it out. Now we can all help things in a different level based on who we are and what we have the ability, the abundance to help out in, but we all can do something, even if it's just saying a little bit, in my opinion. So. But in regards, so like this is where I feel kind of like I'm at a strange spot in my life because I don't know exactly where to go, because I feel like I've been very focused and dedicated and committed to helping save the world, and I feel like somebody else kind of just wants to watch it burn or even perhaps destroy it. And I used to think like that too, like growing up as a teenager and in high school and even into my 20s and stuff like that. I used to think about that all the time. Oh, I just wanted to destroy it, but I always wanted to create something better. I always wanted to create something out of the ashes, that like the phoenix, to help take that which has been destroyed and cultivate something new. But to be a part of that destruction is wrong. Like, that's what I've realized. Like, there is something I want to destroy the destroyers, essentially, not be a part of the destruction. Not actually take an active part in destroying humanity. I want to be here to help to defend and protect and guide humanity in a good way as well as I can, and destroy those that need, or remove those. That's why I like that word remove rather than destroy, and to remove those that need removing, that are destroying others, essentially. But I can relate to people that look at this world and want nothing but to destroy it. I can relate to that because there is a lot of wicked shit that's being done, that has been being done. Just the simple fact that I shared with you guys that since 1980, we've lost 80% of our, I forget, was it 75, 80%? I forget. I got the notes down somewhere, but we've lost almost 3/4 of our wildlife population from our consumerism. In itself, that is horribly wicked on so many different fucking levels. Like, not to mention the pedophile rings. Like, I can see why people want to destroy shit. Like, that's evil. Evilness does have sway over this planet right now. And it's like, and if there's not a cure for it, the next best thing is to just eradicate it. So I get where people are coming from when they have these desires, these notions, and these intents. But to me, it's not something that I can relate to. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, I can relate to it, but I cannot be connected to it in that I can't perpetuate that. Like, that's not, I don't feel good in my heart, like, going along with that type of ideology and way of thinking, especially with everything that I've come and discovered since being on this mission to save the world. Like, I've actually come up with the blueprint to do so. It's still a lot of work. There's a lot of things that need to be ironed out and but it's here. Like, this will work. I feel completely confident in this ability for this thing to work. I just need to get it ironed out the right way and get it out there and spread it with the rest of the world, and they can do it too. We have one plant on this planet that can literally has over 10,000 industrial uses and does nothing but good things for the human body, for the animals, and for the world, for the air, for the elements, for everything. Like, that plant is our tool to changing this whole fucking reality. Why do you think they hated on it so much? Another thing why I get frustrated with Christians, because even in Genesis 9:3, it talks about how, as the green herb, have I given you all things. Like, it's right there at the beginning of your Bible, and still nobody in the religious sector, in the Christianity, talks about hemp. And it's like, you guys think that, like, you're going to just sit here and wait for Jesus to come and save things. And it's like, even if that were true, even if there were some credence behind it, like, in order for you to be saved, you'd have to be doing things to help to prove that you're worthy of being saved. And if you guys aren't doing things to prove that you're being worthy of saved by following the word, by following Genesis 9:3, and then, taking care of the least among us, the Great Commission, all these types of things, I don't see why you guys feel like you'd be worthy of being saved. Like, what are you doing that actually is all that aligned with Yahushua and what he talks about? It's like, anyway, I get frustrated on this type of stuff, but it's how I'm passionate about this, because it's so frustrating to live, especially here in America, where most people are Christian, and I'm walking around looking at them like, you guys are you've become the problem. Like, Christians are supposed to be the problem solvers, and now a lot of them, because of their consumerism and their ties with this Babylonic system, they have now become the problem, which they're supposed to help defeat, destroy, and transmutate. So it's like, it's frustrating to me in a number of levels, not to mention just the pain that's incurred from our collective actions. And, you know, and then just to sit back and just wait for Jesus to come when you guys haven't even walking in his, you know, in his footsteps, is to me just like mind-boggling on multiple different ways. So, but again, this is part of the resistance's blueprint to defeat humanity, is to keep us from doing anything about it, to keep us complacent, to keep us waiting for something in the sky to solve our problems instead of taking the initiative ourselves to actually do the work. Yeah, I think that's good for now. All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.